When it rains, it pours. I swear to God, if you update right now, I'm going to be so pissed. Oh my God, thank you. Three. Ay, 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 ay. About to record a podcast. As soon as I turn on the fucking TikTok. What, buddy? I hope you're not standing behind me. I hope you're not standing behind me, not wearing anything. You got to get back in the room, bud. You got to go back in the room, bud. No. I have got. I have got to get this fucking studio moved downstairs. God almighty. I could have been doing that today, and I didn't. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. Apply. Now, what's going on here, dude? What the hell? Why can I not edit this anymore? God damn it, TikTok. That's fucking bullshit. Bubba. You can't be behind me, man. I don't know what to tell you. And then the fake crying. And then the fake crying. Love the fake crying. What is the clue? I don't understand what the clue is. Beefy King #1. This is a non-story. It's a non-story. What else? I don't care about that. 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 I don't care about any of this. I don't care. I never will. Nary. I think I wanted to keep that page open, actually. Son of a gun of a. No, that's all right. That's all right. Oh, don't double click it. God almighty. That's it, huh? Just Beefy King. This fucking, like. Oh, I hate this fucking equipment. Please subscribe to the show so that I can get a new-ish computer. Huh. There you go. Push the button. God in heaven. It's like, where did my life go wrong? I just had to be sensitive to smells, huh? Hey, Gray, I haven't seen you in forever. How sober are we? I'll tell you how sober I am. I have not done any cocaine or ecstasy in 18,906.96 hours. 697 days. Not that it's a competition, but I think I have you beat. How do I switch this? Not in hours. I know this is just like a button. Come on, dude. Tracker. What's the button? I swear to God, if I fucked this app up, there we go. Okay. 562 weekends. 780, 787 days, 18 hours, 58 minutes. Congratulations, 697. Where's my fucking crowd at? Yeah, Gray on TikTok. Sober. Love that. What's 697? Is that 2? 365 and 365. So you're just coming up on 2, right? Is that math right? 300 and 300 is 600. 65 and 65 is 130. So 730 days? Yeah. Still coming up on it. 33 days away. That's almost a full calendar month. You're right, almost 23 months. You get the chips still? I don't get any more chips. I went in it a year because I was back from California at that point. So I hadn't been going to NA meetings for a while because NA wasn't it. I didn't need it. It's not like I didn't need it. I needed it when I needed it, but long term, I didn't need it. I'm doing the things that the 12 steps. I'm already doing stuff like that in therapy. Anyway, my therapist knows about all of it, so I'm not. You do you. Whoever, how you're listening to this or whatever, I'm not. I started at NA. I found out very quickly I couldn't relate to the people that were in NA. Okay, so I had a falling out with NA, but mostly just because like my path to sobriety didn't involve the same things as their path. But I collected all of the chips for all of my birthdays up to, which one do I have now? Yeah, this is, I did not go, I don't think I went and got an 18-month one. No, because after a year, then it's like 18 months, right? 12 months and 6 months is 18 months. Yeah, so it's like they give you one more for 18 months, and then it's just year after year at that point. So this is my glow in the dark. You can't see because it's all rubbed off now, but anybody that's in NA and they see that, they're like, oh, yeah, you got a year. I got more than a year. But I felt bad. I felt like I was kind of a cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater. Because I went to one NA meeting just to get that. So I feel like I kind of used NA in that regard. I should probably go make a donation, if we're being honest. I should have done that at the start of the podcast. Yeah, here we are. Here we go. Actually, for once, we're going to get this fucking thing fired up quick. Right? It is my journey. It is my journey. I guess I can retell that. All right. That's all right. Great. You're going to hear like a repeat. Just real quickly. Because we're going to talk about that. Have we? If this is too personal a question, you don't have to answer it. Okay? But do I remember correctly in that we both kind of found each other on TikTok like right as we were both getting sober? Yeah. Like I feel like that there was a, I don't even know if this is the word you're supposed to use. I feel like you had like a relapse. And that's why we're extra celebrating the 697 days. But I could be off on that. So if it was, shout out you for battling back from a relapse. Because I think if I would have relapsed, I would have died. But that's how I kind of remember it, because I remember you and I connecting over that. I just want to get my facts straight before I start recording. You wouldn't think that I'm recording right now. You think I am recording because I'm broadcasting. 10 months. Okay, yeah, I thought you had a little bit of time. I thought you had a little bit of time. It's not the point of it, but I was just trying to kind of sort things out in my head. Because I was like, God, I feel like you should have had more time than me. Because you did. You've had significantly more time than me. You just had that brief hiccup, which is fine. Because, again, like you said, it's your journey, dude. It's your journey. Just stay alive. You know what I mean? That's all we want. So you stay alive. I think that's it. I think we got everything. I think we're ready to fire this bitch up. We got that. Give me this link. Give me the link. The link. The link. The link, boss. The link. I thought I had a whole like. Okay, that's not what I want then. Let me type it in here. Son of a gun of a. Here we go. That's the page I was looking for. No, I don't want to buy year. I want to buy age. Buy age. Give me that list. So I know you have it. Are you fucking kidding me? Hey, Carrie, I'll check back in a bit. I'm going to take my dog for a walk before it gets dark. All right, great. Carrie, I didn't answer you about subscribing on Spotify yet because I don't have any like extra content for Spotify subscribers. At this point, if you subscribe on Spotify, you're literally just doing it to support the show. Okay, I've got extra content planned, but guy's got to get the content out before he can do extra content. Deaths by age. Thank you. Deaths by year. I don't want deaths by year. This is not what I wanted. Don't click in the wrong place. Give it to me on. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is the fucking deceased. Fucking deceased. Really? You wouldn't also auto-complete your search records for death by, deceased by? What's going on, Bubba? Yep. You want more chicken fries? They're there. They're on the counter. Harris in the visa. All right. sheet. Show stories. On a fucking YouTube. Hit the right button, dude. God, I got 16 fucking keyboards. Woo saw, dude. Just woo. Saw. Saw, dude. Not woo saw, saw, dude. Kenny Powers Jr. Holla. Thank you. Thank you for checking in from the For You page to tell me that. Is that the hook that I needed? Is that what I do? Is that what it takes to go viral on this goddamn app? Shout out to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. Shout out sounds so lame. And we're ready. Let's make a show of it. Okay. Are we ready? Is anyone ready? I'm ready. Let's reset this. Of course, because why would it? Oh, for fuck's sake. Good, just drop it. Just drop everything. Drop it as though the temperature was elevated. Where's my marker at? It's right in front of my face. It is right in front of my face. Great. Ramona. Hashtag TU, the number 2, BARS. I don't even know why I'm typing this fucking thing out. I never use it. It's just fun to do. My day's, you know what? My day was going all right. I think there's some good that happened today. What else did I do today? Yeah, here, put that down. Coffee spot. The hell is it called? Coffee. Oh. That's not it. What? It's like brand new. Just say the damn name in front of me. There it is. So bad. The baddest. Sar bad. Somebody needs to get out and tell people to get up on Facebook or something, dude. Like, what is going on? This is the part where I go, maybe it's time to hang it up. But I'm not going to. And I want it to be because I'm persevering. And I want it to be because there's a success somewhere that I'm about to see. Because all of the spiritual stuff that I'm reading is saying that. But isn't it just feeding me what I want to hear? Am I succumbing to what's known as the gambler's fallacy? Does anyone know what that means? Is this thing on? This used to be a radio show. 2 Bars presents That's Just Nelson, episode 28. No time to doubt it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to start.
And now, it's Nelson time. It's Nelson time. It's Nelson. It's Nelson know what's going on. It's Nelson time, yeah. It's Nelson. It's Nelson time. Oh, yeah. That's just Nelson.
Now, people say, Nelson, is it douchey to sing along to your own theme song? Yeah, it is. I've never hid the fact that I'm a D-bag. I'm the loudest D-bag in a room full of D-bags. I found that out at a radio convention. That's just Nelson. We stand a self-aware king is what I hope you say as you're listening to this. That's just Nelson on social media. 402-302-1005 is how the phone number to get a hold of the show. Text Steven. Oh, yes. Yes, you may. Yes, you may. And I would love it if you did. Because that was really loud. We'll get you in on the old text machine. Message and data rates may apply. Again, 402-302-1005. And it wouldn't be a show if I didn't tell you it's almost time to see the website. That's just Nelson.com. I own it. I am building it. And I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a magical piece of work. A lot of magic going on. Ramona checking in, getting in with the Heart Me on TikTok. Of course, we broadcast the show live and unedited, uncensored across several social media platforms. So if you got a favorite, I'm not saying you gotta sign up for this one, because I know plenty of people that aren't on TikTok, right? You know where YouTube's at. You don't even have to sign up for an account there. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all of them, that's just Nelson. It's very easy to get a hold of. She said, well, how was your day? You know what, Ramona? Thank you. Thank you for asking that. Because my day, like all days, is just filled with agita of my own making. I tell you what, it's fortuitous that a member had joined the TikTok right before we fired up the show here on That's Just Nelson. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But I'm just in real time putting the two and two together, why it is so fortuitous. But I started my day as I start my days with CrossFit. Yes. Love it. God, I love CrossFit. And I almost messed that up today because there's a schedule to it right now. For the last couple of weeks, I've missed a Saturday. All right. Not on purpose. It's just, I've allowed myself to be lazy, and Sunday is a rest day. So I think the gym is open. I don't even know, but I know that there's nothing like programmed for Sunday. Right. Well, there's also another rest day that's programmed into this whole thing. So you've got it's like 3 CrossFit days and 2 strength days and a rest day. And I don't know. The math isn't mathing, but don't ask me about it, okay? So I got confused. So this morning, I'm up all early. I'm ready to go. And then I'm thinking, oh, no, this is that open day. Because it felt very Thursday all day anyway. Plus, I didn't exactly know if it was Wednesday or Thursday when the thing was happening. Now, yeah, you're getting this episode on Thursday, but I recorded. I'm telling you about the day before. Follow along. It's recorded at night, and then it airs right around 4 a.m. is when it gets released. Okay? So as we're talking about Wednesday, I wake up Wednesday morning, and I'm going, I think this is the day where it's just like a gym day. So I'm going to go in, right, and I'm going to just put together a workout routine, or hopefully one of the coaches will be there. There's always someone there, an employee's there. So I can get a little workout routine. It's probably going to be heavy cardio that day, not a lot of lifting. And then I went and checked the daily app, the Wodify or whatever it is. It's all about WOD, right? Workout of the day. So start my workout of the day, and I realize, oh my God, this is the day that has a normal CrossFit class. And now I'm behind the 8 ball because it's 6:15 and I need to run out the door. Whereas I was just going to mosey in a little after 7. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So already I'm not starting off on a great foot, but I get in, shoulder feeling better. We're going to get into that here in a second, but shoulder feeling better, but I did plenty of modifying, and I was able to get myself through the workout, and I feel like I got myself a really good workout today. So after that, I discovered this quaint little, small coffee shop. Just not one of the big boys. It's got one location. It's in this weird part of Omaha. It's on a street called Northwest Radial. It's in an area called Benson. And now Benson is kind of an artsy part of Omaha. It's very much that's where the hipsters would be. Like, the hipsters are in 2 places. Dundee, and those are emo hipsters. And then Benson is more like rockabilly hipsters. Okay? And that's a fact. Okay? And anyone who's been to those 2 parts of town in Omaha would know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, a lot of curled over hair in Dundee. Okay? A lot of jean attire, jean jackets, leather jackets, greaser haircuts. A lot of that going on in Benson. But this little coffee shop, it's just this little, it's not a mom and pop, I guess, but it's like a one owner type deal. And it's a boutique. And I go in there, I got in there completely on accident. Okay. I wanted to get a cup of coffee after CrossFit. I'm supposed to ding every time I'm talking about CrossFit. At least want to make new mentions of it. That according to my best friend / roommate / longtime confidant, Cam. We need to get a Cam sound effect. Maybe the Cam sound effect is... This could be the Cam sound effect. I don't know. We'll find one, okay? It's beside the point. Not besides, it's beside the point. So I make it over into this little coffee shop, and of course, I just can't freaking help myself. Oh, Little Nelson comes out to play because I'm introverted and I hate standing in silence and I hate being a stranger in a room. And so what do? I'm eavesdropping on the conversation that these 3 people are having. This coffee shop is big enough for 6 people in it, okay? There's 3 people. I think they're out of town because I started pre-eavesdropping, if you will, when I walked in. Because now I got to put on my little dog and pony show. Because I get my battery recharged by people. And so, yeah, I'm talking to you guys right now. And if you joined on the live, I'd be able to interact with you in real time or what, you know. So there's avenues that I have, but I'm a creature of putting on one-man shows. Like my favorite place to be is in between 2 people in the checkout line, not self-checkout. So someone is actively being checked out. I'm the next person and there's someone behind me because I'm about to put on a show. I'm about to bring the house down. This Hy-Vee is going to be fucking rocking, okay? And I can promise you that. I can promise you that it is going to be on point. The kind of comedy show that I'm going to tailor fit to this 4-person audience, including the checker. Maybe a back person. Who knows? Can't wait for it. But I'm also finding myself in small places like that, and now I have to talk about that. I have to talk to people. And I tried to make small talk, and guess what? I am awful at small talk. That's why dating is such a pain in the ass. Because I'm not a first 4 days guy. I don't know what to talk to you about. Once you've gone on a date, it's a little bit different. You know, you sit down, you can kind of converse. But in the making small talk leading up to a date, miss me with that, all right? I'm 3 weeks in. I'm 3 weeks in and I'm sending you cultivated memes. I'm tailor fitting it to your comedy style, and I'm curating is the word I'm looking for. I'm curating for you a personal For You page in the chosen social media that you use. So if you're a TikToker, For You page makes sense, right? Because that's what we call the FYP. I'm going to give it to you through TikTok, okay? And the first way I'm going to do that is I'm going to send you a text message with a TikTok in it. And I'm going to see if TikTok tells me that your TikTok account watched my video. Then I'm going to follow you. Then it's on. Hopefully you're going to follow me back. And now we're running. Because now I've figured out what your style is. Because I have to do that very quickly to protect myself. It is self-defense mechanism. Right? I want to keep you entertained. Because I want you to like me. Everybody love everybody, but I want people to love me. I just do. But then I often find myself trying to make awkward small talk with people who are out of town who are not having it. That being said, this amateur coffee shop did something I've never seen before. So they're big into the paper straws. There's no paper cups anywhere. So I'm getting it to go. She goes, all right, fill this out. $7 for a coffee? I go, okay, it's a mom and pop type spot. I'm going to support these guys, okay, because I know it's not going to be as big as I could get at Dunkin'. If it's $7, I could get a backpack full of coffee at Dunkin'. That's all right. I'm going to take the coffee they give me. And they give it to me in a glass jar. They gave it to me in a what? A glass jar. The glass jar was a hot coffee, so it was a glass jar, and then they put a koozie on it. And then the lid has got this like cute little design with the coffee company called Amateur Coffee, which is, I love that already. Okay. It's kind of like tongue in cheek. It's very self-deprecating, which I'm a big fan of. But the thing about it is, if you bring the bottle back, then you get $2 off the next coffee. So essentially it's a core charge. For states that you can return soda cans back and you get your whatever, the deposit, there's the word I'm looking for. So I've put a deposit on this. And then if like you go in and you sit down, then they don't charge you a cup fee. As long as you're inside, they're going to give you one of their regular coffee mugs and they're going to refill it and stuff. So this amateur coffee was really cute. Now I only found it I only stopped at it because the universe dropped something beautiful into my lap right as I was leaving CrossFit today. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunities that I've been given to meet the people that I've been allowed to meet. Right? And this guy I've known, God, it's got to be going on 15 years at this point because I met him early in my radio career. He's a guy named Matt Bentley. He's a professional fighter. At least he was a professional fighter. The last time I talked to him, it's many moons ago. I was there the night he went from amateur to pro. I was very proud of him. Scrappy dude. Would not want to mess with him, right? So I used to work out with him at a gym called Mick Doyle's gym in Omaha. And Mick Doyle is the coolest Irish dude ever. Oh my God. He never lost the accent. He's tough as nails. And he's a black belt in Muay Thai. So he can kick your face off from halfway across the room, right? Him and Willie. Oh, shout out Mick and Willie. If you ever have an opportunity, if you're not in Omaha or if you are in Omaha and you want a great place to work out, Mick Doyle's gym. I show you to Mick Doyle's gym. You say, Nelson, why didn't you go back to Mick Doyle's? Because I really wanted to do CrossFit and I was not about to get into Muay Thai. And I'm not ready for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm just not there yet, okay? But I can't speak highly enough of these guys. And in fact, you can see Mick and Willie on an episode of Sports Science because a guy named Houston, the assassin Alex, Houston, the assassin Alexander, was in the UFC for a while. He was a UFC fighter. He's a fighter that's from Omaha. He's maybe the coolest dude I've ever met. I love Houston. And he held my hand one time as we crossed the gym, okay, very delicately. He's also checked my oil, okay? So don't love him too much, all right? Don't have your hole anywhere near him if you're a dude because he's going to check your oil, okay? And he's going to check it. He's going to get that dipstick in there, okay? And if you don't know what that means, it just means you catch a thumb. You catch a thumb in the prison wallet. From the outside, it goes through the pants, which makes it even worse. Because the force you need to get cotton up in there, that's not fun. That's not fun, and he can do it. He's very strong. So I met this Matt guy there. He was one of the fighters. He was a Muay Thai fighter, and he was an MMA guy, and so just one of the coolest guys ever. So I'm seeing him walking across this Northwest Radio. I flip a Yui. I turn back in. Luckily, he hasn't gone into the business he's going into. I don't know where he works at. I'm assuming. I go, oh my God, Matt, how have you been, dude? I haven't seen you in forever. Big old hug. Guy looks great. He goes, have you been paying attention to anything that's happened to me in the last year? I go, I haven't, man. I'm so sorry. I haven't seen you on Facebook or anything. And that's about the only place I would catch up with any of these people is Facebook. And I haven't been on it. He goes, I had a liver transplant. I go, what? He goes, yeah, man. He's a young cat. He's younger than me. He's got to be in his late 30s at this point. He goes, yeah, I drank my liver away. I go, oh my God. I totally understand. Like, I didn't do any damage to my liver, but, you know, I'm two years sober now, right? And I had a big problem with cocaine and ecstasy, which I've talked about here on the show before. But yeah, he goes, dude, it was so bad that like when I went in, it's like, and I didn't ask him if I could tell this, so don't tell him I told you. And if I did, you know what? I'm celebrating the guy because he's a damn champion, because the guy battled back from the brink of death. He goes, yeah, one day I woke up, I looked like a Simpsons character. I was like, yeah, that's the first sign that something's wrong with your liver. And so then he had it in a way where he had to, this is why I am so grateful that the things I was addicted to didn't come with a big hangover or didn't come with a huge chemical dependency, i.e. like heroin and alcohol, because you can't just quit that stuff. So he had to be weaned off. He says he goes to rehab, successfully completes rehab. Right at the end of rehab, they're like, you need a liver or you're not going to be here anymore. And by the grace of God, you want to talk about God is good, the universe, whatever you want to believe in his darkest hour, a liver. He's got a renewed look on life. He's been more than a year sober, and just like so many things. Well, it's been a couple of years at this point is what he was telling me, because it was the last year was him getting the liver transplant, right? And so he's here. And I was so excited to just to see him. You know what I mean? Just to hold him, for us to touch human bodies together. Because God, I didn't even realize that I had almost lost the opportunity to do that. And so it kind of made me think inwardly about my sobriety. And then as I fire up the live, as we do, we broadcast the show live. One of the places is on TikTok. Lo and behold, someone I haven't talked to on social media in forever logs in. Hey, how are you? Gray, what's going on, Gray? How you been? Now, Gray and I found each other on TikTok while I was in California when I was doing lives out there. I wasn't doing any kind of podcasting, but I was doing live broadcasts and playing video games and whatever else, right? And so we had met up basically at the very beginning of both of our sober journeys. So we kind of connected that way. We were talking to each other about it and sharing stories and like, oh, this was the stuff that I was into. I'm not going to share all the stuff she share with me, but just I'm sharing my side of it. And so I'm asking her, are you getting chips? Are you getting whatever stuff? And then I started to feel a little bad. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bad. First off, let's celebrate before I tell you how much of a total jerk face I am, and you can be the deciding factor on whether or not that's true. 787 days, 19 hours, 28 minutes, and now 35 seconds. And by the time you're listening to this, who knows how much extra time I will have had sober. My big problem was cocaine and ecstasy. Put $30,000 worth of cocaine on my nose in the course of about 2 years. Okay, so it was I had it bad. Okay, I had it bad. I was really good at it. Okay, and since then, I still track that sobriety date, but I have had alcohol since then. From that sobriety date, I was completely like straight edge. Put the X's on my hands for 9 months. And then I came back to town and I had a couple of gummies. I had a couple of edibles because I'm like, I was never going to completely quit. They call it Cali sober or whatever. I tell you this stuff not because I'm bragging or anything, but I tell you it because I want to take some of the stigma out of getting sober. Because so many people will go, well, you can't call yourself sober anymore. You know the hell I can't. I almost killed myself with powders. Okay. I almost completely destroyed my life and the lives of others with chemicals. Okay. And I don't do those chemicals anymore. And I never will do those chemicals anymore. And I will not stop counting the days since that happened, because that was the day I got my life back. Since then, I've had alcohol. I've had alcohol a couple of times. I even sat down with my psychiatrist. This isn't like a plan that I made up myself. But I sat down with my psychiatrist. I said, hey, I think, I want to get to the point where I have, the problem was I needed to completely shut off because I had linked alcohol and cocaine together. So if I was going to get drunk, or if I was going to drink, I was going to get drunk. If I was going to get drunk, we're definitely going skiing. Okay. And if I'm going skiing, you might as well get a little drunk, right? Because it balances itself out. It's a weird way to look at it. And I'm sure that's not really what's happening. It's like when you drink coffee and you think you're getting sobered. You're getting sobered up. But I can tell you in practice, you could be fall down like ready to puke drunk. And then all of a sudden it's a completely different night. Okay. Until you've gone too far there and then you drink a little alcohol back. And how I'm not dead, I have no idea. Okay. I'm still trying to figure it out too. A lot of survivor skill, but here I am. Here I am surviving. But I tell people that because you got to stop beating yourself up, because shame is why you go back. Now, if you have alcohol problem, if like you have an alcohol problem, you can't go back. You're probably never going to be able to have a sip of alcohol and keep going. I have a can't stop problem. So my problems lied in the fact that I only knew how to get wasted. Didn't matter what chemical, didn't matter what I was going to do, what avenue I was going to take. I only knew how to get wasted, which is why ultimately I ended up leaving NA. So I was in NA. And the big thing about NA is they don't talk about it in the media or whatever, so they don't make public statements or anything, but I could talk about it because I was in it, right? Immediately when I got sober, from that first day that we're counting from, I got back to California, I went into NA, and I got a sponsor. He goes, 90 meetings, 90 days, good. And along the pathway, somewhere in there, I started asking questions like, well, when's the thing going to happen that's going to trigger me, and now I got to go get wasted? So I called a very close friend of mine, my best friend on the whole planet. I guess if there's tiers to the best friends level, then he's number one. If there aren't, then they're all tied, right? A guy named Dennis, my longest friend, my oldest friend, saint of a man. And I called him up and I said, hey, kind of help me work through this. because I'm waiting for this thing to happen that's going to make me want to, like, well, I got to go get tore up. He goes, dude, that's not your problem. Your problem is once you start, you don't know how to stop. Because I've always joked that I didn't have a drinking problem. I got a problem drinking. And that's true. So I go back and look at it, and that's it. I can only go up 1,000 miles an hour. I can only break the speed of sound. I have to be going as fast as possible. And the only reason I didn't end up like Chris Farley is because I was only doing uppers. Had I been speedballing like him, doing uppers and downers and trying to balance it out that way, or as opposed to the alcohol and the cocaine, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be a member of his, what, he's 33 club, but I wouldn't be here. And so it was at that moment that I realized I don't need NA anymore. Like, because I can't relate to you guys. The stories you're telling me, I don't understand. They don't resonate with me. I needed to come in here and talk to people, and that's what I did. And then everything else I do in therapy. Once a week, I'm going over all the stuff. Are we going in order of the steps? No. But have I made amends? Have I unpacked my bull? Yeah, I've done all of these things, right? I wouldn't say I've gone through all 12 steps, but I would tell you I'm sober. I can confidently tell you I'm sober when it comes to the things that I had a huge problem with. But again, going back to that shame component, that's what I talk about. I say, you know, I want to know when the Oktoberfest comes around, I go get a big mug of beer with my buddies. He goes, yeah, I hate that. My psychiatrist goes, I hate that all or nothing mentality. It's setting you up to fail. I go, I'm going to go all or nothing on Coke. He goes, yeah, you should do that, though. I go, all right, buddy. All right, doctor. Doctor, give me the news. So I tell you all of that because I've had just like a couple of just times where I've been able to like embrace that sobriety again today and brushes with people and talking to other people. And so if someone in your life is struggling, reach out, okay? And just maybe don't judge. Okay, just don't. Just kind of cool it on the judging tip. You know, I brought up Chris Farley there. There was a famous death today. At least they announced it today. We'll go and unpack and see if I can get all the details on that. But my ex-wife could not stand this person. Couldn't stand it. I liked her. Is that why I'm divorced? Maybe. At That's Just Nelson on social media, 402-302-1005. We're going to get into that. Who was it that passed and how did it happen? Do you know about the rule? There's a rule.
You're listening to That's Just Nelson.
What time? What time? Peanut butter Nelly time.
Peanut butter Nelly time.
That's just Nelson.
Come on.
Oh, I'm timing the hell out of that. Tanner checking in on TikTok at That's Just Nelson. That's where he found it. Maybe you found it on youtube.com/That's Just Nelson. However you did it, I appreciate it. Maybe it's just Apple and Spotify. Then maybe a comment, leave a rating if you could, and I'd be much appreciative of that. Doesn't even have to be a good rating. Just rate it, man. No news is bad news, right? No press is bad press at this point in the size of the podcast. This used to be a radio show. Now it's a podcast called That's Just Nelson. If you're a fan of the show and the empire that I'm trying to build, then that makes you a two-bar. Hashtag TU, the number 2, BARS. 2 bars. This used to be a radio show. I'd appreciate it if you spelled it all in caps and then put a little a lowercase a, but that's just for me. Yeah, that's my stylizing choice. I know that most of the social medias want it all in lowercase, but that's what you are. You're a fan of the show. You're a 2-bar. Welcome to the club, Tubers. Tubers unite. I love every one of you. Anne Burrell died. Can you believe that? Celebrity chef Anne Burrell. She was 55. They say it will take a medical examiner to determine exactly how she died, but a major clue has been announced. What is the major clue? Sounds like she suffered a heart attack. That's the major clue. I had to read the story 3 times to understand what even the big deal was. So as the tribute's starting to pour in, obviously at the Food Network star on several different shows, the 55-year-old chef had a 911 call come in on her behalf. The unidentified 911 caller said that Burrell had gone into cardiac arrest. And the New York Fire Department has kind of backed that up now. And so you figure 55, cardiac arrest. She was overweight. She was working in kitchens. I'm surprised more celebrity chefs aren't dying in that area, you know? Now, the rule is celebrities die in threes, right? You've heard that rule. Who are going to be the other two? That's the sick game you start to play, right? And nobody's proud of ourselves for doing it. Don't. Exactly. I wouldn't go that far. But you play the games, right? I started thinking about this too as I'm unpacking this. I had said earlier that my ex-wife hated her. She did. I don't understand why. She did not like her. But if I wanted to get her all riled up, all I'd have to say is good things are happening right now. Good things are happening right now. And then I wave my head back and forth. I think she hated her because I kind of had the hots for Amberella. The short hair doesn't necessarily do it for me, but man, on Amberella did. And you know she's going to cook you a good meal? God almighty. God almighty. How did it happen? They say a heart attack. My guess is, again, maybe it's an underlying heart issue she already had, but I know that she was overweight. I know that she was a chef. There's a lot of butter. There's a lot of hard, long hours. You're traveling across the country. None of that's easy on a person's body, right? It's not like, at least we'll get details, right? At some point, we're going to be given something. It's not like when you see somebody random die on Facebook. That's the worst. That's the worst. Because all you want to do is know. All you want to do is know what the heck happened. And so you got to do a little Facebook investigating. So you start peeling through the page. Because an obituary is never going to tell you. Every once in a while, if it's like cancer, they'll tell you, right? But there's a way to read into that. Have you mastered that art yet? This is for the dark, okay? This is for my nurses that listen. This is for people who are working like a first responder field or for people who have like a dead parent. If dark humor is your milieu, then this will work for you. Because I have to know. Trig and I, this is our favorite game when we were together. We still play it occasionally. I talk to Trig quite often now. That's a whole other issue I want to unpack. I think Trig is the first ex that I've ever actually been real friends with. But we loved this game. How did it happen? Right? And you can usually tell by the tone of the comments if it was self-inflicted or not. If it was a car accident, generally you're going to see that. If someone else caused it, you're going to see it, but you're not going to see it necessarily unless it's in a news report. Now, a news report isn't going to get you anything about a accidental OD. A news report isn't going to get you anything about like a purposeful OD. You know, so that's where you got to do the nuance. That's where you got to find it in the comments. But you can find it. You can find it. Heavy on the sorry for your losses. Taken too young. You see a check on your happy friends. I close the show every day with a check on your happy friends. You see that in the comments anywhere? It's 100% that's what it was. Plus, you get a feeling for it by age, right? Because if someone's young and it happens, they usually, someone says, how does this fell off a cliff? You know, a stroke at 32, you know, they're going to say it. If they're 29 and they're not saying it, they're not saying a medical condition. I mean, the dark part of me is guessing that it was self-inflicted to some degree. 988, by the way. Did you know they fast-tracked that? So now the suicide hotline, you just dial 988. Like 911, you need help? 988. And I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to reach out to somebody. And like I'm going to tell you at the end of the show, you got to check on your happy friends. You got to check on your happy friends. The other side of me goes, 55, that's not like an age that stands out, right? If you're a celebrity, do you want to die amongst a bunch of other celebrities of the same age? Or do you want to be on one of the off the beaten path ages? I think the most famous one is right, the 27 Club. The 27 Club, primarily musicians and artists, but it's musicians, right? I guess there's a couple of actors. But mostly drugs, right? Mostly accidental. 27 Club is made up of Kurt Cobain, the biggest stars in it. Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse. I'm going to say this name, but it's not big to me, but maybe it's big to you. Jung Hyun. He must be a K-pop star because it's just this pop singer. Jonathan Brandis. But I don't think that was drugs. I think he was sick. Jonathan Brandis was he was in Sequest, and he was in a couple of other things. He was Jonathan Brandis was Bastian in the Neverending Story. I'm almost certain he was Bastian in the Neverending Story, or he was in the second Neverending Story. Either way, Jim Morrison died at 27. Jimi Hendrix, Anton Yelchin. That was not drugs. That was the Anton is the kid that was. I'm 43. 27's a kid. He was the kid that was in Star Wars, and he played Chekhov, and he had gotten out of his car. Oh, this poor man. He had gotten out of his car for some reason. I don't know why he was behind his car, but for whatever reason, he had gotten out of his car, and he was behind it, and he did not put the car into park all the way. So it was in gear, and it rolled backwards, and it crushed him between the car and, like, the security gate that he had at his house. God in heaven. 27. In Star Trek, he had had a couple of other huge roles. He was about to be a breakout star. Janis Joplin died at 27. And then it starts to fall off a little bit. Tyler Skaggs, a baseball player, died at 27. And yeah, so the list starts to get a little thin. Now you come up into Ann Burrell's price point, 55. It's thin. Ann Burrell is one of the most famous people, okay, that died at 55. Among the list of celebrities who have died at the age of 55, Henry VIII of England. Henry VIII. I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am. Yeah, Swayze wasn't 55? Maybe Swayze was 54. And the only reason I thought that is because if you're not familiar with the movie Ghost, he sings that song to annoy Whoopi Goldberg. I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am. Right? Other people died at 55. Probably the biggest star that died at the age of 55, that would be Kate Spade, fashion designer Kate Spade. And I don't remember if that was that I don't remember. I don't want to spread any rumors. This is what I'll tell you if you didn't know this. Kate Spade, David Spade's sister. And I don't know if Spade is the family name and they're all Spades, or if she just took his celebrity last name. I think Spade is their given last name. But Kate Spade, the designer, died at 55. And then, like I said, the list gets a little thin. Angela Riala, a reality star. I don't know who she is. She looks like a housewife. Ken Block, race car driver. Emily Dickinson, the poet. Okay. Oh, I think the guy who came up with all of the biggest properties at Nintendo died. Satoru Iwata. So that's 55. Also, Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher. So I ask again, if you're famous, do you want to go in an age like 27? You don't want to go 27. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to die at 27. Or do you want to be surrounded by some stars? Do you want to be the biggest star that died at that age? Or do you want to be just kind of in the mix? Like 33, I just picked this out of random. We'll do this. You can go at the famousbirthdays.com also has died at. But if you're searching, you got to go deceased by age. Don't put died at or died by age, death by age, because for whatever reason, their stupid algorithm doesn't pick up on it. Farley died at 33. Nipsey Hussle at 33. Naya Rivera, she died at 33. And Hitler's wife, Eva Braun. I don't know, 33, again, way too young. But you're amongst a few famous people. Going back, Swayze died at 57. 57 years old, pancreatic cancer. Hell of a way to go. The worst way, really. As far as cancers go, it is like, it's up there. The obsession continues. So we're going to get the buzzer out here in just a second. When we come back.
That's just Nelson.
Nelson.
You're listening to That's Just Nelson.
Yeah, you are. Just Nelson. That's just Nelson. So I said the obsession continues. Obviously, the obsession, the only obsession that has been talked about constantly has been what? CrossFit, right? Real quickly, I very much was a denier of chiropractic services. I started going to this chiropractor that I'm going to, Dr. Mylor Chiropractic at 96th and Giles in La Vista. He gives me nothing for this. I'm just giving it out to him because he's this solid a dude. Okay. I started going to him because my ex-girlfriend said, "Oh, he's great. You got to do it." You know what? You've never done chiropractic care before? No, I haven't. So I started doing it just to appease her. And then for a while, I didn't think anything was happening, right? Now, I notice now there's a difference in my back when I look back on it. No pun intended, I suppose. My big problem, though, is I have an issue with my shoulder. And I went into him, and I'm like, "Dude, I have a shoulder issue, and I've been coming to you anyway, and you're the only doctor I have access to. I don't have health insurance right now, so I'm paying him on like a per session." And so he goes, "Yeah, dude, we can fix that." I go, "Really?" So he adjusts my shoulder. The next day, that night, it's the worst pain I've ever been in. Like, just I'm worried that I'm gonna have to just cut it off. I go back to him the next day because I go 3 times a week, and he goes, "Yeah, I figured that it was gonna be that way." And I might have talked about this on the podcast yesterday, but just forgive me for the retread. Because today, when I went in, oh my God. First off, when I woke up this morning after yesterday's fixing, I've got like almost full range of motion back in my shoulder. Like, it's a little tight in spots, and I'm going to have to go easy on it. But like before, all I could do is the hand straight out, like Elon. Oh, but I couldn't do my wings out. Like I was flapping my wings to my side. And now I can put my hand all the way up. I'm telling you, I thought chiropractic care was a Reiki adjacent. It is not. That is absolutely false. That guy knows what the hell he's doing. I can't speak to other chiropractors, but I know my guy is solid. So Mylar, I'll give him one more shout out there. But so now I'm excited because I don't think I'm going to be as limited as I was worried I was going to be at CrossFit, right? So now as I go into the Fit Farm, they're helping me out with everything. Love those guys over there. I'm going to get my kids involved in CrossFit now. I've decided I'm going to get my kids involved in CrossFit. One, because Penelope's at a perfect age for it. She's 11. I had to think about it for a second. Romy's about to be, God, how old are you, Romy? 9. Oh my God, not double digits. I still have a single digit. But I am wanting to get the kids involved in CrossFit because Penelope, I think, will take to it like a fish to water. And I think she'll really love it. And for Roman, I realize that I have been just as bad as I have said other people are about their kids sometimes. And that is, I got to do better. My therapist the other day, she said, "My favorite part of your podcast is that you talk about, you got to do better. You got to do better." I'm glazing there, self-glazing. But there's this commercial that sticks out in my mind. And this is what it's like giving me agita, I guess. And it's this little girl, and she's little. I mean, she's probably 20. She's 21 because she can drink. Still a kid. Anything under 25 looks the same. Like 16 to 25 all looks the same age to me anymore. You know what I mean? Like, just stay all over there. You're all kids. Tell me you're older than that, then I'll tell you, okay, 25, I'll give you respect that you're due, but you still look like a kid to me. So there's this young woman, she's got Down syndrome. And the whole purpose of the commercial is, you thought I couldn't do this, so now I can't do this. Like, bartender, you didn't offer me a beer, so now I've never had a beer. And which is like a weird thing. It's like the 4th thing in, but that's the one that sticks out. Because you didn't think that I could do it, so you never asked me to try and do it, then I just never got to do it, and now I'm limited because of that. And so I feel like I've been doing that with Roman. I've been kind of like protecting him from things that I don't need to protect him from. So I don't know if CrossFit is the answer, but I do want to get him into soccer. So I've noticed that he really loves soccer. He doesn't even realize he really loves soccer, but he loves soccer. And so, I want to encourage that because I think he would take to team sports as well. And I think it would open up some of his language too. As his language is expanding now, my little boy's autistic. I don't talk about it a lot, but I talk about it sometimes because I don't want you to define him by his challenges. But also, if you're a parent of a special needs child, you're not alone, dude. It feels very isolating, but you're not alone. And you can do this. You have to. I mean, there's no other option, but you can. It's not about you have to do it. You're not going to get drugged through it. You can do it. Thank you. That's where you would. Thank you. Right. We're working out the kinks. But it got me thinking. I got my little wheel spinning, and I wanted to know, I posed this question to you. Maybe leave it in a comment here on the podcast or on the live, wherever you want to. Heck, text it in 402 302 1005. That's the number for the show. What's the most memorable commercial to you? What are the commercials that stick out? Is it Puppy Monkey Baby from the Super Bowl, which to this day I still don't know what Puppy Monkey Baby promotes? Maybe a Mountain Dew? It either promotes a Mountain Dew or it promotes like an insurance company. It's one of the two. Recent ones, a Limu Emu. I like the Limu Emu, but I don't think that's going to stand the test of time. Like to me, here's the big ones, right? We'll go all the way back. We'll do the Wayback Machine. You got the Where's the Beef, right? Where's the Beef was an iconic commercial and like a ad campaign for Wendy's. It was like Wendy's has got way more beef than everybody else. Where's the beef? No, it's at Wendy's. Now Arby's has the meats, right? I think that's pretty iconic. At this point, I think Arby's has the meats has become iconic. Calgon. Anybody? Calgon? Ancient Chinese secret, huh? Calgon. So I think that one kind of sticks out. What? Clap on, clap off the clap. Clap on, clap off the clapper. But why do they stick with us? And do they work? I think advertising works. It works on me. Advertising was made for idiots like me. I promise you that. I am so stupid and I'm so easily led and influenced. And then the worst part of me is that I'm also influential. That sounded really lame. No, give that buzz for that. Thank you. Ooh. What I mean is I can convince people to do things. So I'm easily convinced and I'm easy to convince you. So it's like it's very dangerous. It's how we've gotten to the place that we've gotten at, right? Because too many people are only getting their news from one source. But we're not talking about commercials here. We're talking about the funniest or the best commercials, the ones to me, it's the funny ones that stick out. Or the interesting ones like do 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 do. I think everybody knows that's fresh goes better. Mentos fresh and full of life. Jingles always work, right? I think maybe the number one funny commercial. The number one funny commercial to me is the Kmart Ship My Pants. The Ship My Pants campaign. I just ship my pants. I just ship my drawers, right? Even grandma can ship her pants. That was such a beautiful play on words. That was just a master's class in advertising. The Kmart ad, ship my pants, right? The most memorable commercial to me, though, of all time, the one that sticks out, it haunts me and it uplifts me, and this was the worst possible commercial for what they were trying to get across. Okay. There could not be a bigger commercial fail outside of brands slapping a rainbow on a product and selling it during Pride as like a gay version of their product, right? This was the worst possible commercial that could have ever been created for the purpose of this advertising. And it was an anti-drug campaign. Let me set the stage for you. We open the scene with a woman in her kitchen, and she's in like a suit. She's in like a pantsuit. Maybe it's a skirt. I don't know, but she's very much in business attire. And there's just a little song. And that song goes like this. If I may, if I can sing for you briefly. This is my favorite commercial of all time. It is the worst ad campaign, maybe in the history of ad campaigns. Look at me. Busy as a bee. Where'd I get all this energy? Whoa, meth. Ooh, meth. You heard that right. You heard that right. They sang the word meth. Now we cut to the next piece of the commercial, right? Because the whole thing is bang, bang, bang. It's about a 20-second song. Okay. Now the woman is, she's not in her business attire anymore. Now she's just kind of buzzing around the kitchen, right? She's running around the house. Now I don't sleep and I don't eat, but I've got the cleanest house on the street. Whoa, meth. Ooh, meth. Ooh, meth. Need I say more? This is an anti-drug campaign. Okay. The first 15 seconds of this, people only remember the very first thing you say and the last thing that you say, okay? The first thing I said was, look at me busy as a bee, right? Oh my God, I got all this energy. That's the first thing you've heard at the commercial. Third part of the commercial is where things turn a little dark. Okay. Now, not only is she not in the just regular walking around the house clothes, now she's in a wife beater and underpants. Okay. In the classic cotton white, just looks white trashy, just trashy, right? And she's kind of in the corner of a closet. She's like scratching at her arms. Now the music is kind of taking an upturn. Now it's a little more intense. Get these hairs all out of my face. Get these bugs all out of my place. One more hit, no time to waste. Whoa, meth. Ooh, meth. Boom. And then a logo cuts, and it's like the Mentos logo, basically, and it's the word meth in an oval, and a hand comes from nowhere and has a toothbrush and goes and scratches out the word meth, right? That's it. Look at me, busy as a bee. Where'd I get all this energy? Whoa, meth. Ooh, meth. Now I don't sleep and I don't eat, but I got the cleanest house on the street. Whoa, meth. Ooh, meth. And then like the music's going, ooh, ooh. Get these hairs all out of my face. Get these bugs all out of my place. One more hint, no time to waste. Whoa, meth. Ooh, meth. Meth, the fresh maker, right? It's even set in that Mentos style, essentially, right? I'm fat. I'm 16. I'm sitting in my parents' basement, and I'm looking at how the entire room I'm sitting around is just filthy. It's just trashy. And what did I tell you? That I've learned about advertising. I've learned about everything in broadcast. People only remember the first thing you say and the last thing you say. So the only thing I took away from this was I could have the cleanest room you've ever seen, which means my mom is going to love me. And ooh, meth. Yeah, that sounds fun. Ooh, let's go get some meth. No, don't do that. That was a short-lived ad campaign. That one not uplifting, like the Down syndrome girl. Don't limit your special needs children. Make them do things, let them fail. That's how they're gonna learn. I get off my soapbox. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just a dad with a special needs kid and I want to do better. Meth. Don't bury the lead coming up.
That's just Nelson.
Don't bury the lead. What you trying to do? Don't bury the lead. Just don't bury the lead.
You're listening to That's Just Nelson.
Bury the lead.
General Mills has discontinued 3 Cheerios flavors due to low demand, including chocolate peanut butter and honey nut minis. Toddlers everywhere are up in arms. Them and maybe the one divorced dad who's still trying to win breakfast. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. If you've eaten Medley Crunch in the last year, your palate may be legally considered a crime scene. Who is still eating Cheerios? Chicago's Smoke, S-M-O-Q-U-E barbecue, is suing grill giant Weber for trademark infringement after they launched a product called the Weber Smoke, spelled the same way. Now, how bad is Weber's legal team? They looked at a barbecue spot named Smoke in Chicago and thought, these idiots are too busy degreasing their knuckles to file trademark paperwork. We'll be fine. They weren't. They're not going to be. Now, usually when they say beauty is pain, they mean physical, not psychological. Jenna Bush Hager revealed her pain was the latter of the two. That means the second one, the psychological. After revealing on a recent episode of Today with Jenna and Friends that after getting sunburned in Spain at a topless beach, she turned her boobies green. How that happens, nobody knows. You've heard of sun kissed. That's sun cursed. And lastly, Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders was ticketed in the Cleveland suburb of Strongsville for driving 101 miles per hour. He was doing it in a 60. Because what better way to answer the haters claiming you lack the maturity to play, let alone succeed at this level, than to prove them absolutely right? Who knows, though? Maybe this is the soft launch of his new nickname, Crime Time. Don't applaud that. Do not applaud that. You know, because his dad is Prime Time. Get it? Crime Time. Because he commits crime. Notice I said crime, because I don't know if he's committed. But I know he's committed crime. It's crime time. Because it rhymes. Okay, you get it. 402-302-1005. That's the phone number to the show. That's Just Nelson. That is the social media that you can connect with. You could be part of the live uncensored show if you want to, as it gets recorded Sunday night through Thursday night. Right here. That's Just Nelson, right? Let's hear it again.
That's just
That is.
Nelson.
It's absolutely correct. Take your pills. They're working. It's called Better Living Through Pharmacology. You can't do it on your own. And you know what? That's cool, dude. That's why you're paying the co-pays. Keep taking the pills. Check on your happy friends. And I'll get at you tomorrow.
That's Just Nelson. This used to be a radio show presentation.
I'm Penny Nelson.
My name is Rowan Nelson.
Thank you for listening to this show.
Thanks for listening to the show.
Have a good day and have an awesome day.
I love you too.
All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Harv, I'll catch up with you later.